यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय राधा गिरिधारी राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितामश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशा तारिणे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत् शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदि अन्तस्थभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Reading from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, chapter 38, No one listens to a poor man. Then Prabhupada called for Tamal Krishna and said, your wife is my daughter, my disciple, and I have to think for her also. So I do not know how I can do this because she will be in great difficulty. Tamal Krishna argued, but Prabhupada pacified him and asked him to be patient. The sannyas issue had become a topic of controversy among the devotees in Jaipur. The men were rooting for sannyas and the women were opposed. Prabhupada, however, remained grave. Throughout the week long festival, large crowds continued to come for Prabhupada's morning and evening lectures. Prabhupada would chant prayers from Brahma Samhita and then lecture in Hindi. Not only did the citizens of Jaipur honor Prabhupada, but they honored his disciples also. Here, more than in most other Indian cities, the devotees were treated not as foreigners or outsiders, but as sadhus. This whole city is made of devotees of Radha Govindji, Prabhupada commented. The police chief, who visited often, was cordial and respectful. As Prabhupada and his disciples went from place to place in Jaipur during the day, policemen would salute them, halting traffic to let them pass. People invited Srila Prabhupada to their homes and they treated him like a king. Prabhupada had also asked several women devotees to carefully observe the deity worship in Jaipur. They informed him they had observed that every night the deities were dressed in night clothes and that their clothes were also changed at two other times, in the morning and in the afternoon. The women told Prabhupada how a priest offered the deities scented oils on cotton tipped sticks, which the priest would later offer, along with flower garlands from the deities, to the incoming worshippers in exchange for fresh garlands. These devotional practices were standard, Prabhupada said, and could be introduced throughout ISKCON. Each evening, Prabhupada spoke at the pandal, and often a respectable Jaipur citizen would introduce him. When the Queen of Jaipur introduced him one evening, she expressed her devotional sentiments for Prabhupada and his movement. After lecturing each evening, Prabhupada would stay for a slideshow of ISKCON's activities around the world. One night, during the slideshow, Srila Prabhupada called Tamal Krishna over beside his Vyasasan. Taking sannyas will be difficult now, he said softly. Your wife will suffer too much. He sat back a moment while Tamal Krishna took in what he had said. Then Tamal Krishna leaned forward and said with determination, one way or another, Srila Prabhupada, she is going to suffer. Either she will suffer now when I take sannyas, or if I take sannyas later on, she will be just as unhappy. There will never be a time when she will want me to. So, since the feeling is going to be the same, it might as well come now. Free me. She will get over it. Prabhupada said no more, but he remained thoughtful. Later that night, after the Pandal program, he called for his sannyasi disciples, Subal, Madhudvisa, Garg Muni, and Devananda, and for his personal secretary, Shyamasundar. Gathering them together along with Tamal Krishna, he said, Tamal Krishna wants to take sannyas. So, what is your opinion? Should he take or not? Everyone agreed he should. Finally, Prabhupada consented. You will have to prepare things, he said. Things are prepared already, Tamal Krishna said. Then, said Prabhupada, tomorrow morning we must have the ceremony. The next morning, Prabhupada performed a special ceremony in the pandal, lighting the sacrificial fire and offering Tamal Krishna the sannyas danda. The women were angry with Tamal Krishna, but it was too late. After the ceremony, Prabhupada called Tamal Krishna Maharaj to his room. You have given up a very good wife and a high position. Therefore, I am giving you the title Goswami. Now you have to be in the same mood as the Goswamis, being able to preach all over the world and accept disciples. Suddenly, Prabhupada began to laugh. I have been testing you, he said, to see whether or not you were determined. So, what will you do? I thought I would go with my danda, said Tamal Krishna Goswami, and without anybody else. Simply wander from city to city in India and preach about Krishna without any vehicle or anything, just like Lord Chaitanya did. Very good, Prabhupada said. Tamal Krishna Maharaj offered obeisances and walked out. Scarcely an hour later, however, Prabhupada called him back. This is not a very good proposal, he said. If you want to do something, you should have some assistance and facilities at your disposal. Prabhupada then assigned a couple of brahmacharis to go with Tamal Krishna Maharaj for preaching. He also gave his new sannyasi his first assignment. Immediately after Jaipur, Prabhupada was planning to go to a festival in Nairobi, Africa. Yet in Ahmedabad, another program awaited him. You go on my behalf to Ahmedabad, said Prabhupada. At Tamal Krishna Goswami's sannyas initiation, Srila Prabhupada had given him the sannyas mantra, a verse that describes the surrendered devotional attitude of the Vaishnava sannyasi. Vaishnava sannyas emphasizes engaging one's body, mind, and words in ecstatic service to Krishna as distinguished from the sannyas of the impersonalist, who speculate on Brahman or sit alone in silent meditation. The Vaishnava sannyasi, by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, crosses the ocean of nescience and brings others across with him. As Srila Prabhupada was demonstrating, a Vaishnava sannyasi should travel all over the world, working with all his might to reclaim the fallen souls on behalf of Lord Krishna. Vaishnava sannyas meant coming to places like Jaipur and preaching. It meant worshipping Govindji in the temple, and it meant sending Radha Govind to be worshipped by the devotees in New York City. It meant allowing women an equal opportunity to become pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, and it meant separating a man from his wife for the higher purpose of sannyas. Srila Prabhupada, although beyond the Varnashram designation of sannyas, was nevertheless the best sannyasi and the creator of many other sannyasis whom he instructed to follow in his footsteps. He said his sannyasis should do even more than he, make more followers, publish more books, and establish more ISKCON centers. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, 18th Chapter, 38th Verse. Karoti Vishwasthiti Samyamodyam Yasyepsitam Nepsitam Ikshitir Gunaha Maya Yathayo Brahmate Tadashrayam Gravno Namaste Gunakarma Sakshine. Karoti Vishwasthiti Samyamodyam Yasyepsitam Nepsitam Ikshitur Gunai Maya Yathayo Brahmate Tadashrayam Gravno Namaste Gunakarma Sakshine. Anyone would like to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am trying to recite. Karoti Vishwasthiti Samyodayam Jasyepsitam Nepsitam Ikshitur Gunoi Maya Jathayo Brahmate Tadashrayam Grapno Namaste Gunakarma Sakshine. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Karoti Vishwasthiti Samyamodayam Jasyepsitam Nepsitam Ikshitur Gunai Maya Jathayo Brahmate Tadashrayam Grapno Namaste Gunakarma Sakshine. Hare Krishna.
As we are taking two shlokas today.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
May I try please?
Yeah, sure, please.
Karoti Vishwasthiti Samyamodhayam Yasyepsitam Nepsitam Ikshituregunehi Maya Yathayo Brahmate Tat Ashrayam Gravano Namaste Gunakarma Shakshine. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I was saying that we are reciting two verses today. So I would go to the other one now before going to synonyms of this. So if anyone would like to chant the synonyms, read the synonyms, please.
May I?
Yes, please.
Krishna. Karoti, performing, Vishwa, of the universe, Sthiti, the maintenance, Samyama, winding up, Udayam, creation, Yasya, of whom, Ipsitam, desired, Na, not, Ipsitam, desired, Ikshitu, of the one glancing yoga, Gunahi, with the modes of material nature, Maya, the equal energy, Yatha, as much as, Aya, I, Bhramate moves. Tat Ashwayam, place near that. Gravunaha, Gravanaha, a magnetic stone. Namaha, my respectful obeisances, stay unto you. Guna Karma Shakshine, the witness of the actions and reactions of material nature. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We'll recite the next verse now. Pramatya daityam prativaranam mridhe yo mam rasaya jagadadishu karaha kritva gradam stre niragadu danvataha krida nivebha pranata smitam vibhumiti. Anyone would like to recite this verse?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am doing.
Sure.
Pramotadaitam prativaranam mridhe yomam rasaya jagadadishukara ritagradam stre niragada udannataha kriro nibheva pranatashmitam vibhumiti. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna
Hare,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pramatyadattam prativaranam mridhe yo mam rasaya jagadadisukaraha kritva gradanstre nirgadudanvataha kridan vebha pranatasmitam vibhumiti. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna Mataji. Anyone would like to recite the synonyms of this verse?
Mataji, can we recite the verse before the cinnamon?
Sure.
Okay. Pramatya daityam prativaranam mridhe yo mam rasaya jagadadi sukara kritva garadhamastre nirgatudvata kridan nivebha pranatasmi tam vibhuviti. Thank you, Mataji.
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Synonyms?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Dhanavad Pranam Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam. Pramatya, after killing Daityam the demon, Prativaranam, most formidable opponent, Mridhe, in the fight, Yo, he who, Mam, me, the earth, Rashaya, fallen to the bottom of the universe, Jagat, in this material world, Adi Sukara, the original form of a boar, Kritva, keeping it, Agra Damstre, on the end of the task, Nirogat, came out of the water, Udanvata, from the Garbhodaka ocean, Kridan, playing, Eva, like, Eva, elephant, Pranata Asmi, I bow down. Tam, to him, Vibhum, the Supreme Lord, iti, thus. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Translation of 38th verse. O Lord, you do not desire the creation, maintenance, or annihilation of this material world, but you perform these activities for the conditioned souls by your creative energy, exactly as a piece of iron moves under the influence of a lodestone. Inert matter moves when you glance over the total material energy. Translation 39. My Lord, as the original boar within this universe, you fought and killed the great demon Hiranyaksh. Then you lifted me, the earth, from the Garbhodaka ocean on the end of your tusk, exactly as a sporting elephant plucks a lotus flower from the water. I bow down before you. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Now comes the purport. So there's no purport on verse 13 in verse 39. We'll read this purport. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sometimes the question arises why the Supreme Lord has created this material world, which is so full of suffering for the living entities entrapped in it. The answer given herein is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not wish to create this material world just to inflict suffering on the living entities. The Supreme Lord creates this world only because the conditioned soul want to enjoy it. The workings of nature are not going on automatically. It is only because the Lord glances over the material energy that it acts in wonderful ways, just as a lodestone causes a piece of iron to move here and there. Because materialistic scientists and so called Sankhya philosophers do not believe in God, they think that material nature is working without supervision. But that is not the fact. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 6.18 and 19th verse, the creation of the material world is explained as follows. Yeah. यद्यापि संख्या माने प्रधान कारण जड़ हाइते कभु नहे जगत सृजना निज सृष्टि शक्ति प्रभु संचारे प्रधाने ईश्वरेरा शक्ते ताबे हयाते निर्माणे. Atheistic Sankhya philosophers think that the total material energy causes the cosmic manifestation, but they are wrong. Dead matter has no moving power and therefore it cannot act independently. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with his own creative potency. Then, by the power of the Lord, matter moves and interacts. Sea waves are moved by the air. The air is created from ether. The ether is produced by the agitation of the three modes of material nature, and the three modes of material nature interact due to the Supreme Lord's glance over the total material energy. Therefore, the background of all natural occurrences is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. This is also further explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 5th chapter 59 to 61 verses. जगत कारण नहे प्रकृति जड़ रूपा शक्ति शक्ति साचारी या तारे कृष्ण करे कृपा कृष्ण शक्ति प्रकृति हाय गौना कारण अग्नि शक्ति लौहा यायचे करे जारना अतएव कृष्ण मूला जगत कारण प्रकृति कारण यायचे अजा गल स्तना. I apologize to all the Bengalis attending the class for my pronunciation. Because Prakriti, material nature, is dull and inert, it cannot actually be the cause of the material world. Lord Krishna shows his mercy by infusing his energy into the dull, inert material nature. Thus, Prakriti, by the energy of Lord Krishna, becomes the secondary cause, just as iron becomes red hot by the energy of fire. Therefore, Lord Krishna is the original cause of the cosmic manifestation. Prakriti is like the nipples on the neck of a goat, for they cannot give any milk. Thus, it is a great mistake on the part of material scientists and philosophers to think that matter moves independently. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Prayers Offered to the Lord by the Residents of Jambu Dvipa. Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome you all for the morning discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are now at the end of chapter 18. Canto 5, prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambudvipa. In this chapter, Sukdev Goswami has described about 6 varshas. Total, there are 9 varshas in Jambudvipa. Bharatvarsh is, out of those 9 verses, Bharatvarsh is the field of activities, and the rest 8 varshas are for persons who are meant to enjoy the heavenly comfort. Srila Prabhupada writes in the introduction of chapter 17. So, Ilavrat Varsh was discussed in chapter 17, right? And this chapter has described the next 6 varshas and its residents. And then there are 2 more varshas, which is Kim Purusha Varsha and Bharat Varsh, which would be discussed in next chapter. So let's see the 6 varshas, which has been described in this chapter. So it started with Bhadrashava Varsh. The resident offering the prayer, the main resident who was offering the prayer was Bhadrashrava, and the presiding deity was Hayagriva. Then we heard about Harivarsha. The main resident was Prahlad Maharaj, with other residents, was offering prayers to the presiding deity, Lord Nrsimhadeva. Then we heard about Ketumal Varsha. Ketumal Varsha was The prayers were offered by the demigods and Lakshmi Devi to the Lord Rishikesha in the form of Cupid, who was the presiding deity of Ketumal Varsh. Ramyak Varsh. Manu Maharaj is offering prayers to the presiding deity Matsyadev. Hiranmaya Varsh. Aryama and the residents are offering prayers to the presiding deity Kurmadev. And this section relates to Uttara Kuru Varsh. Uttara Kuru Varsh, Mother Earth is offering prayers to the presiding deity Varahadev. So today we are ending this chapter. We are on verse 38 and 39, the last two verses. Now verse 38 takes on from where Prabhupada ended the purport of verse 37, which was a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada ended the purport of verse 37 with the verse Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam Hetu Nanena Konteya Jagat Vipratate. Right? That this whole material nature is working under my direction. Srila Prabhupada ends it here. Now, from in this purport, in 38 verse, Prabhupada is giving more info on the why and how of this material world. Let's look at that. Mainly, this purport has two main points. One is why Lord created this material world, and the other point is how the material world is created. Right? Now, in yesterday's class, His Grace Surat Krishna Prabhuji mentioned, actually he gave wonderfully the answer to both what I'm going to talk today. And I was, while listening the class, I was thinking, oops, I'll have to redo my slides. But then I thought, in Kali Yuga, the more we repeat, the better it solidifies in our intelligence and brain. So let's get into the first point, why Lord created this material world. Okay. Now, in this verse, 38th verse, there are two words, Sanskrit words, which are used. Yasya ipsitam, na ipsitam. Ipsitam means desires. So Mother Earth is saying that, Lord Varadev, you desire to create this material world, yet you don't desire to create this material world. So what is Mother Earth trying to say? Did Lord wanted to create or not? Now, the answer was given in yesterday's class too. Does anyone remember why Lord created this material world? What did Prabhuji said yesterday? Whoever attended the class yesterday.
Hare Krishna Mataji, to fulfill the desire of living entities to enjoy.
Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes. Prabhuji mentioned yesterday, and in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes. So Srila Prabhupada starts with, sometimes, the question arises, why Supreme Lord has created this material world, which is so full of suffering, and is he trying to entrap us here? Right? Why Lord does that? Mother Earth says, Naipshate, Lord doesn't want to create. And as Mataji very nicely mentioned, Lord creates only to fulfill our desires because we want to enjoy this material world. It is us who wanted this separate place where we can just think that we are the enjoyers and owners of it. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, clearly, only because the conditioned souls want to enjoy it. Right? The government creates a prison house not because it wants people to be criminal, but because the government knows that there would be some people who will actually misuse their free will and choose to be criminals. Similarly, the material world is created for those who desire to enjoy it, not because the Lord wants to inflict suffering on us. That's why Mother Earth is using Yasya ipsita, na ipsita. That word she is using. And Srila Prabhupada gives the analogy of mother, giving toy utensils and toy kitchen to her daughter when the daughter insists that I want to cook today. I would like to cut veggies. I would like to do the whole cooking today. So what does the mother gives? A toy kitchen to her where she is free. This is a very famous analogy. Srila Prabhupada uses it a lot of times that, that you cook here now. And she very nicely cooks. And guess what? Mother is sitting and trying to pretend that she's actually enjoying the food the daughter has cooked. Similarly, just out of love, the mother gave out of love this kitchen to the daughter. So, just out of love, Krishna created this world for us. No one wants, okay, right? Any one of you who has or had kids would understand how difficult it is to make them understand or make them convince on something if they have put their sight on. What will happen? You will get a sulking child. As they grew elder, it becomes more and more difficult if they have set their mind on something and to, make them sway away from that decision of theirs. They have their own thought process and will, free will. Whatsoever you do, sometimes they just don't want to understand it. So think about those times, okay? When your child has become stubborn, what will you do? What will you do? So the best option is to give them the freedom to choose. Let them decide. Let them fall if they must. But you should be there when they fall. Isn't this very famous parenting thing? And it is actually the most important part of parenting too. Let them decide based on their free will. Let them choose. But if they fall, you should be the first one to put your hand underneath if they fall. That is unconditional love. And who better than Lord can demonstrate that unconditional love? Before going to how Lord helps us, let's see what Srila Prabhupada says about love. How does Srila Prabhupada define love? Yeah. Would anyone please like to read this?
Okay, Hare Krishna. Love means you take and you give also, and you simply take from him, but you don't give very good. No, it's not good. That's not love. That's exploitation. If I go on simply taking from you, and if I don't offer you anything, that is simply exploitation. Real love or service can only exist when free will allows the Jiva souls to voluntarily participate in the loving devotional exchanges with Krishna by contributing to that relationship in their own unique way. Lecture on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 2 to 5, New York, November 23rd, 1966. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Urmila Mataji. Thank you so much. So the key word here is real love or service can only exist voluntarily participate. The key word is voluntarily participate. So that is very important. And the jiva should stay with the Lord out of love. So jiva has forgotten the love of Lord because he wants to enjoy this material world. But has Lord forgotten that? No, the Lord is filled with so much love and affection for each one of us. Not just one jiva, not just Prahlad Maharaj, not just Parikshit Maharaj, not just Kunti Maharani, not just the Pandavas, each and every one of us. Lord has so much love and affection. He can't bear the separation from us. Prabhuji mentioned it, like, you cannot even compare with the movies, where they show that obsessive love. And it actually, in the movies, it actually ends in destruction. But Lord's love actually uplifts us. And he is so much in love with us. He can't bear this separation from us. He looks for various excuses to come in this material world and be with us. protect us in this Dukhalayam. Lord never leaves us. The purport starts, right? Prabhupada writes that sometimes people think why this this material world is created. Yesterday, Surat Krishna Prabhuji mentioned 4 ways of protection, how Lord comes and protects us. He never wants to leave us. Okay. I will also share those 4 ways were what I'm going to share, and a couple of more. These are the acronyms which I've learned from His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji when I was doing my Bhakti Shastri course. The acronym for the word protect. And later I've also heard that Nitai Sevni Mataji has also mentioned this acronym. Okay. So how does Lord protect us? If anyone thinks that Lord is leaving us to suffer, here are the ways how Lord comes and protect us. He comes personally. P. He comes personally. Who has he protected personally? There are many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam's, the whole basis of Srimad Bhagavatam started because of this devotee, Parikshit Maharaj. Lord personally protected him in the womb of his mother. R.
Krishna.
R is
Representatives.
representative, right? There are so many times, and we have been in till 5th canto, we have read many devotees where Narad Muni has helped them. Do you remember Prachinabhari? He was so busy doing yagyas, and so he was the one who invented this kusha grass. Narad Muni came to him, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And told him about the real knowledge. Vidura saved Pandavas from that Lakshagraha, from the palace of Vex. Right? O stands for omnipresence. Lord is everywhere present, and he protects you in ways which you can't even understand and you can't even fathom. There are times which we sometimes tend to call them as miracles, but Lord's omnipresence is there. How Lord protected Draupadi by being a sari. He can be anyone and anything if he wants to. T stands for teachings. Lord has protected Arjun, Lord has protected Parikshit Maharaj, Lord is protecting each one of us through these scriptures, through these teachings which he has given us. E stands for empowering, right? Prabhuji was speaking yesterday about Satyavesh avtaras. Empowering. Sometimes, you would just see these Satyavesh avtaras around you. We are very fortunate that we are able to hear, read, and associate with the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Such a powerful personality. Just because we are in ISKCON, sometimes we forget how powerful Srila Prabhupada was. Then sometimes Lord protects through combination. All these, through personally, representatives, omnipresence, teachings, empowering, right? What did Kunti Maharani said in her prayers? Vishan Mahagne Purushad Darshanad Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichate Mridhe Mridhena Kamaharatashrato Droni Astaratas Chasma Hare Pirakshita. What does she say? Again and again and again, whether it was poisoned kheer, whether that was a great fire, whether that was the assembly of very vicious assembly, she says, right? Whether it was the exile, again and again you have protected us. And then the last T stands for time. Lord comes as time. Kalos me. Time is we say this, right? Time heals. If nothing else, time heals. Time makes you learn patience. So Lord loves us all so much that he's continuously finding excuses to protect each one of us. We should never doubt his love. We should never question why Lord created this material world for my suffering. No, it was us. It was we who wanted to enjoy this material world. We were a big happy family in Golok Vrindavan, but we decided, no, I want a separate flat. I want to go and stay somewhere else where I can say, this is my flat, right? Now come to the next point, how the material world is created. Again, this was taken up in yesterday's class. I'm just touching upon the points. If any one of you had missed yesterday's class, please listen to it. It was a masterpiece about how world is created and how much Lord loves us. Okay, so how the material world is created. Now, there are people who would say that it just got created with a big bang. And, because they think that matter is independent and it can create independently things. Srila Prabhupada, as we read in the purport, he mentions and he gives references from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yesterday, he gave references from Bhagavad Gita. Today, he is giving references from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Point being, all our scriptures are filled with the knowledge that material nature is actually dull and it's not independent. It is a great mistake if we think, Srila Prabhupada, right, it's a great mistake on the part of material scientists and philosophers to think that matter moves independently. And Mother Earth gives the analogy of a lodestone. This is a lodestone, which is nature's magnet, basically. These stones, they are like, in the analogy, Mother Earth is saying they are like you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Varahadev. And these nails, iron nails, they are like material nature. Now just try to imagine, if I bring that nature's magnet, lodestone, near these iron nails, right now, these iron nails are very peacefully sitting because they are dull, right? They are just lying down, immovable completely. But as soon as I'll bring the lodestone, watch what will happen. These nails, which you can see are kept at a place, immediately will start competing and moving in the direction of the lodestone, isn't it? And within seconds, you can find the lodestone like this. So what does this prove? What does this analogy prove? It proves that iron nails on itself didn't had any movement, right? Or life. It was only due to this lodestone that these iron nails actually became alive and you could see the movement, which proves that material nature doesn't have any power or any life. It's dull and inert, which Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport. Now let's see some more examples, right, where we can say that the matter is dull and it needs some interference, some supervision, as Prabhupada mentions. So let's look at this lump of clay. Now, if someone gives me this lump of clay and I just keep on looking, staring, sitting, staring at this clay and shouting at it, maybe. I'll even order it to take a shape, become a beautiful vase, become a beautiful jug. What will happen? My blood pressure will go up. My voice, because of shouting, will distort. But will anything happen to this lump of clay? No, nothing will happen to this lump of clay until a interference of a potter is there and he or she comes and shapes it. Similarly, this material world is a lump of matter. At the beginning, and only through the glance of the Lord, the material nature gets impregnated. Another example, this harmonium, is it of any use? If it's sitting, it's immovable. It is dull, non-living. But the same harmonium comes to life when a player touch it and start playing the harmonium. You would listen beautiful sounds coming out of this harmonium, beautiful ragas. So again, you saw how inferior matter needs interference of superior energy in order to come live. Let's see one more example. Car, beautiful car. Now, what is this car doing sitting? Not sitting, but existing. It might be existing in out of your out of your garage. It might be in the dealer's office, wherever. It's just existing. That's all. But is that the use of the car? Is this the use of the car, to just exist? No, there is a different use of this car, which will become live only when there is a driver. Under the supervision of the driver, the car becomes live. Now, these examples, what I'm giving you, they are not new to you. You have heard them 100,000 times already. But what happens is, we still fall into this illusion of inferior energy. This whole material world is running on the philosophy of material matter does matter. No matter how many times we listen that this matter, inferior energy, material nature, is nothing without Lord's interference, we are still unable to understand, because the hold of Maya Devi is very strong, this power of illusion. Even if people who see from, see the inferior form of this material energy eye to eye, they also on a daily basis can get very easily completely delusioned. His Holiness Bir Krishna Maharaj gave this example on how quickly the illusory energy can take over our intelligence. Doctors, while operating, they actually cut open the body. They see the whole body. They see what this gross body is made of. Blood, pus, lungs, all the parts, they are able to see it. And let me tell you, it is not very beautiful from inside. Maharaj mentioned that this doctor, he has done a surgery, cut open the part and done the surgery, bloody and all. And after that, once the surgery is finished, what does he do? He goes to a dinner date with the girlfriend and get entangled in material world. Great illusion, isn't it? Have you seen that doctors don't have a family? No, they do. How can we come out of this? Now this brings to the same conclusion as of yesterday's class. How can we come out of it? Now, by doing what Jambudweep's residents have been doing. They are praying with gratitude to the Lord. Right? We have learned from chapter 17 and 18 that these residents are well aware of whom they should keep in the center of their life. Who are they keeping? This is from, the snip is from His Grace Gauranga Darshan, Prabhuji's Bhagavad Pravaha. The center of their varshas is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Uttarakuru Varsh, right now what we are reading, Varahadev. Am I still? Oh, yeah. Uttarakuru Varsh, it is Varahadev. Hiranmaya Varsh, it is Kurmadev. Ramyak Varsh, Matsyadev. Hari Varsh, Nrsingadev. Bhadrashiva Varsh, Hayagriva. They know very well who to keep. Even you see, Ketumal Varsh, there is Lakshmi ji there. Demigods are not praising Lakshmi ji. They are not worshipping Lakshmi ji. Who are they worshipping? They are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how to develop this mentality of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of feeling this, how to develop this prayerful attitude? Srila Prabhupada has given us this process. As Prabhuji mentioned in yesterday's class also, we'll just quickly go through. I'll not take much time with this because we have heard it yesterday. It is the process which Srila Prabhupada has given us, sadhana bhakti. There are 5 S. Starts with sadhu sang. The better your sadhu sang, you will be more pumped to do your sadhana very diligently, sincerely, and seriously. because of sadhu sang and because of your sadhana, you will get interested in swadhyaya, reading the scriptures under bona fide spiritual master. You are 10 to do seva. So everything starts from sadhu seva, sadhu sangha. Everything starts from sadhu sangha. Your sadhana develops, your swadhyaya develops, your seva develops, of course, and at the end, as Prabhuji mentioned as well, if you follow all these, the first four, sadachar is a byproduct. So we know that Lord loves us a lot. How to reciprocate it back? By learning this sadhana bhakti, by making sure that we are seriously and sincerely following this sadhana bhakti. Okay, so quick recap. These verses, Bhumi Devi is praying to Lord Varahadev, where she is offering her obeisances, and she's telling every one of us that Lord didn't want it to create this material world. It was us who wanted this suffering place, right? And she also mentions that how this material world is created by just the Lord's glance. This material world is created. This material nature otherwise is very dull and it independently has no value. Right? And she also then ends the session with glorifying the Lord, which is in verse 39, saying that, you lifted me. You saw how Lord solves the problem of all of us. Protection. We saw how Lord protects. Verse 39, actually, just the translation itself is enough. She gives the analogy of elephant sportingly lifts a lotus flower from the river, from the water. Similarly, Lord Varahadev, sportingly, it looked as if, it was not a big deal for him. He just lifted the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean. So that's how powerful our Lord is. In one of, daily quotes of Srila Prabhupada, in one of the quotes, I don't remember which day it was. I have this daily thoughts book. In one of them, Srila Prabhupada said, never forget you have the most powerful father. I'll never forget that quote. We all have the most powerful father, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he will make sure that we all are protected. As we mentioned, that if the child falls, Lord has given us the freedom. And if the child falls, if we fall, Lord will be the first to keep his hand under us. He will send multiple representatives to save us. Sometimes he comes himself as well, right? We saw the acronym of PROTECT. And we saw how Jambudweep residents, they are only praying to Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is very vivasatmika buddhi, focused. And how we can be focused like them? By performing our sadhana bhakti sincerely and seriously. We saw the 5 ways. Okay. Thank you very much. I'd like to end the session here. Hare Krishna. If anyone has any comments or addition, please go ahead with this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Again, thank you for a beautiful class. It's very inspiring and it's very positive because we're getting trapped with this illusion that we must solve these issues and these issues, that we are the doers. And after this class, which reminds that actually it's the Supreme Personality of Lord Krishna, he is the one who actually rescues us, saves us, and it's by his mercy and by his will we are getting out of our troubles, which we actually asked for, which we were like little kids, tried to enjoy cooking at this kitchen and get trapped with some problems, and then Krishna comes and gives us his hand, helping us to, climb out of this troubles that we created and we asked for willingly or unwillingly, subconsciously. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Thank you very much. It was a very nice class, explained the verse so nicely from different angles. And particularly one thing that came to my mind, that the Lord has given us a partial independence, and it is for us to make best use of that. When we forget that and use it in a wrong way, the Lord doesn't leave us alone. He still has eyes on us and always always trying to take us towards Him, and He makes all attempts so that we do not go back, we don't go away from Him. So it is for our best interest also, but we forget it, misusing our partial independence. And Lord is always trying to take us back to Him, and we should not forget that. And of course, sometimes we forget it, but if we keep in mind that Lord is our ultimate well-wisher, then at one time we'll realize it and ultimately try to go back to the Lord. And that is the lesson. All our spiritual knowledge that gives this knowledge, our spiritual masters and all and the chain of discipline successions, they are always trying to show that we should go back to the God. We should align our life to the Lord, not trying to live independently. And that is a misuse of our independence. And when we use it properly, we'll go back to Godhead. That is the human life. We've got that because no other life offers this opportunity. So it is in human life we've got it. So we have to make best use of it by utilizing our partial independence towards the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, I think there are no more.
Yeah. It appears there's no other person to make any comments. So thank you very much for the very nice class. The class may be concluded. Thank you. Bancha kalpadurubhasya
Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Sita Mataji ki